Hey guys, it's Main here, back again with another account review, and today we're going to be looking at Kasoumon's account. I'm going to go ahead and zoom in here so you guys have a little bit easier time viewing. This was someone who actually donated to me, so we're going to do an account review for him. He looks like he's just pre-World 7, so hopefully a little bit more earlier game account. We can go over kind of what needs to be done to kind of get you into World 7 and what to do kind of when you get there. So let's go into it now that World 7 has been added broadly to actually I see some of the stuff you have here. So you have some World 7 stuff, you just haven't participated too much into it. But let's go ahead and talk about some of the World 7 mechanics. Let's go talk about stamps, alchemy, the usual stuff we usually talk about. I guess first thing I do want to mention real quick is your obols. These obols are not rolled, so they don't have the +1 stat. Silver pop obols can roll up to +4 drop rate. So if you can, I would highly recommend going over to your obol page, going over here to upgrades, and you can pretend this is, you can actually real quick, let's talk about this trick. So you can actually roll a bronze obol, or the lowest tier of the obol that you normally find, to be +1, and then you can roll it up into the next tier, and it'll have the additional +1%. So you can either roll your silvers for +4, which I'd probably recommend doing, or you can just take a silver and roll it to +4 yourself. Either way, that +1% will carry over. It's also important to note that the obol you have in the left side of the window here is the one that takes priority. So you don't need to roll up both the obols, you just need to roll up one of them. Okay, so for example, if I roll this to +3, eventually, there you go. If I roll this to +3, but I put it in the right slot, it won't carry over that +1 CC goes to +3. It's because the left one takes priority. So make sure you actually upgrade it properly, as opposed to doing it incorrectly and messing up and losing a little bit of obol fragments. But that's the first thing I do. This will help you get just a little bit extra drop rate. In the grand scheme of things for World 7 and all the drop rate multi, honestly, is not really that impactful. But this does act as a base for all the multi drop rate that we have to start scaling. So if you eventually get to like the Reliquarium name tag, the 0.1% tome name tags for the drop rate multis, this will start, taking pretty serious effect into the end game. So drop rate page is definitely worth trying to get. Also, Domio Magnus obols, obviously Ice Guard obols, those random events, they can drop drop rate that have higher drop rate than 666s. You can also get hyper obols, which haven't been in a limited time shop rotation in a very long time, so be on the watch out for that. Maybe it comes out in a future update. But those are definitely good because those have like the highest drop rate you can get of any obol in the game. Kind of a very end game thing people spend gems on is hyper obols. If you have a lot of gems saved up, you can buy those. But yeah, make sure to roll your obols. You can also do this for your family page. That constitutes a pretty small but not insignificant amount of drop rate you can get for free in this game. Other thing I'd probably recommend doing is getting the rest of your statues to Onyx. So these days, I honestly just recommend candying your box 2 Solar Seesaw. Now that being said, candies are a lot harder to come by because there's been an inherent drop or nerf to candy farming. The DK orb doesn't really work that well for Biggie hour farming anymore, so candies are a little bit harder to come by than pre-World 7. So that kind of sucks, but if you want to candy it, I probably recommend doing for box 2 Solar Seesaw. Just click on the World 3 mob or candy on the World 3 mob that has the lowest drop rate for those. So for, I think, box statue, or no, Seesaw statues, Cryo Snakes, I think Quenchies have 2 Soul Statue, and then who's the other one? Penguin has box statue. That's right. Do those. There's other mobs that have a higher drop rate. Don't recommend doing those for obvious reasons. But you can absolutely get those statues of Onyx. And if you don't want to you spend candy, you can also active ES farm for these. ES is better for these because these 3 statues don't appear inside of a crystal mob bag, which makes DK particularly bad at farming these. DK is only good for statue farming when these statues appear inside of a crystal bag. Okay, so you don't want to farm these statues just because they don't do that. They aren't inside those bags, and you also don't want to do DK for villager statue or dragon warrior because it just sucks. Sheepy better for box? No? I guess it would depend on how many penguins are in the map compared to Sheepy, but this is almost a 2,000 difference in drop rate. So numerically, I'm saying probably not. But ultimately, the answer just kind of depends how many Sheepies are in the map, right? So if I click on this, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Compared to penguins, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. So this is comparable amount of sheepies. Comparable amount of penguins to sheepies. It's like a little bit 2 difference. So mob respawn will be good. Just test with a 1-hour candy, see which one you get more box statues out of. My gut is saying penguins, just because there's 2 less mobs, sure, but the drop rate is almost 2,000 times higher, or like, flat value. It's like almost half, or whatever. Anyways, and I guess the same goes for the other statues. Just do your testing and kind of find out. For the villager statue, dragon warrior statue, obviously progress whole. Whole is a very big part of this game, especially because of dragon warrior statue being as powerful as it is. So, you have gloomy caverns, so farm the grotto, kill these guys, get some obols, use those opals, upgrade your villagers and stuff. And also the more kills you have on gloomy mushrooms, more drop rate you get, because one of the engineer schematics that you have, show all schematics. This one right here, which you don't have unlocked yet, but it gives you flat 5% drop rate per colony of the gloomy mushrooms you kill. So with drop rate multi, this obviously scales a lot higher, but as you kill more colonies of the gloomies, you'll get more and more drop rate, which is pretty good. Same thing also applies for golems. There's an upgrade you get a little bit later that gives you drop rate as well. A lot higher drop rate for each sanctum of the ancient golems you kill. And you can get a lot more sanctum kills than you can caverns of gloomy mushrooms to kill. So you can actually get this to a very high amount. Some people are at like 41 to 43 sanctum, which takes a very much like a long amount of time in clicking. To get you a very large amount of flat drop rate. This 20% scales a lot with drop rate multi that we have at World 7. Okay, so this is a great source of drop rate as well that you can get rather free to play. Not a lot of investment. My free to play is access to the gloomy mushroom cavern, so I'm able to get a pretty decent amount of drop rate through that. You also get some class EXP, which is pretty nice. Villager EXP, right? So I'd focus on the harp, on the bucket, on trying to upgrade and unlock these upgrades in the schematics, so you are able to take advantage of it, because you're missing a lot of drop rate here from gloomies. Early game, this is a lot of drop rate for people. Okay. I see you're also splitting opals like 6, 32, 32, 6, 6. It's like, I see a lot of splitting of your opals. I wouldn't really recommend splitting opals across your characters until you have like 200 plus, because the splitting of opals is actually very good for when you unlock this upgrade for village magic. This one right here, if you split the opals, it's not really good. It's not giving you this bonus, number one, because you don't have it upgraded, so you're not getting that much EXP under villagers because of that. So I would go all in on your opals until you have like 200, then maybe consider splitting like 15 across all of them. But once you get to like the 200, 300, splitting becomes a lot better, because you'll probably have a higher Cosmo upgrade. You'll probably have upgrades into this upgrade, which makes it worth splitting. Outside of that, just go all in, because every 10 opals you invest on a character means they get more EXP. So if you want to level up this character to the next cavern, for example, cavern 12, which I'd highly recommend doing, because that's when you unlock Belaya, and Belaya is so powerful. I would go to the lamp, reset your opal investment onto Explorer, try to get to Cave 12 so you can unlock Belaya, and then I do an opal reset, go onto Belaya, and try to upgrade this so you can at the very least get the Bravery upgrade, probably get the Den upgrade so you get more Golden Hounds, probably do the Bell as well so you can upgrade your Bell. You can get a lot more wishes that way as well. The Harp, getting the EXP is obviously pretty massive. More flat lamp wishes is also pretty good to help you scale that up over time, so you can get some of the World 4, World 5, World 6 thingies, and also the World 7 is pretty good. Let's see. Yeah, so the hole needs a little bit of love, and the fact you need to probably kill some more grotto. You're probably missing a lot of opals. Oh yeah, you're missing a ton of opals from earlier sources. So pinging the bell will give you a ton of opals, right? You have 10. It'll take you 10 minutes to get 1 opal here. So probably stick your bell onto ping the bell so you can get a bunch of opals that way. If you're doing bravery, once you unlock that bravery upgrade, you'll be able to get bell, ping, and ring rates. They'll help you get more opals that way. You can obviously upgrade. Once you get Belaya, you can upgrade. What is it? The well. This will make this constitutes a pretty big amount of bucket fill rate, to be completely honest with you. So this is a great way to get more bucket fill rate. Is this wish from Belaya? And then you just get a bunch of gravel. Gravel's pretty good because I believe gravel is the one that gives you gray DNA, if I'm not mistaken. So every power of 10 gravel you get, the more increased gray DNA you have, and you also can unlock more opals here. Motherlode, you're at layer 5. You can absolutely complete this, get more opals to this. You can probably get more opals out of the hive, and then eventually when you get Evertree, you can get a lot of opals out of the log there as well. So you're missing a ton of opals across like all the sources of the game. So in order to scale the hole, just go do every single hole mechanic, try to unlock like 2-3 opals from every single mechanic, and invest that back into Explorer, right? What else? Let's go all the way back to World 1. Take a look at your stamps. See if you're at 10k stamps yet. You're not. You're at 5,600. So when it comes to your stamps, I highly recommend trying to unlock stamps if you haven't already. And obviously investing all of your resources into unlocking those stamps. So all these stamps here, like you have, it takes like 7 mil oak logs to upgrade the pickaxe stamp, which at this point in the game, since you're in World 7, should not be that hard to upgrade. You know, same thing for hatchet stamp, anvil zoomer, little mining bag, like everything you see here, go ahead and upgrade. Like everything's purple here, which means they're upgradable, right? So I would highly recommend trying to upgrade every single stamp that you see, because the more levels you get, the more chance you have at getting a gilded stamp, which means more cost reduction, right? Outside of that, the exalted stamps I see you have are fairly good, with the exception of Jade Mint stamp that kind of sucks. Multi-tool stamp's a great one to do. Crystalline stamp's a great one to do. Probably next one to do, probably mason jar, so you have more carry capacity. Carry capacity is really good. Golden apple stamp is really good for the gold food effect. And I'm not sure what else. Probably drippy drop for the liquid regen to help your cranium cook a little bit better, get more liquid vestment, get more liquid rate and cap on your characters, or on your cauldrons rather. And then also go back to your previous worlds and try to unlock the stamps that you don't have unlocked yet. So Hermes stamp, Avastiar stamp, Diamond Axe stamp, Sash Side stamp, Stat Wall Street, Void Axe, Conjo Charmo. You're also missing Summoner Stone, which I think from Sussy Jean quest line. And you're missing some like arcade stamps, which just feels bad. I also think you're missing Talent 3. You're missing Biblio stamp. And these ones are from Cavern 15. So is there any stamps you recommend we don't unlock? No, I'd say just unlock your stamps. I feel like trying to manipulate no stamp left behind in that manner, I feel like is very niche advice. I don't really recommend anyone to do. I just probably just unlock your stamps, right? Cool. Okay. Owl. Okay. So this is in quick ref now. So Mega Feather should be fairly easy. To push, my free to play is able to get like 11 Mega Feather. And this is pretty significant because this gives you a lot of drop rate. This gives you a bunch of all stat, damage, base damage, skill EXP, right? And classy XP. Now this gets scaled because of one of the legend talents in World 7. This increases the bonuses from both Poppy and what's the other one called? Poppy and Orion, right? I'm looking at Orion right now. Poppy and Orion, it scales the bonuses from that. Drop rate from Poppy is very significant. And then from Orion, the drop rate there is pretty good. And then from Poppy, the AFK gain is also pretty significant. So please, for the love of God, complete your clickers because they give you some huge account bonuses, especially in your early game. Poppy, essentially fleshes out all the accuracy problems you'll need until you get accuracy up to a point where you can upgrade it. And then fishing efficiency, it's a great way to scale from Poppy as well. And obviously the AFK gains is like huge, right? Prince, AFK gains is like super massive. So getting a ton of AFK gains through for free from a clicker mechanic is insane. And then getting that World 7 talent, the legend talent for the increased bonuses there, it will give you a ton of AFK gains. To give you a comparison, you're at 1.5% AFK gains versus when I look at my Poppy, I'm at 162.5% AFK gains, right? This is an insane amount, especially considering we have AFK gain multi in the form of the 0.1% name tag, which is kind of out of the reach for a lot of people. But you also have the Reliquarium name tag, right? Once you get to the end of World 7, able to kill Coral Cave Guardians and able to push the Reliquarium name tag, gives you AFK gain multi. And then depending on your gallery multi, that multi gets multied as well. So you're able to get a ton of AFK gains off of Poppy. I would reckon my AFK gains from Poppy alone is probably in like 200-300% right now at the very minimum, which is insane. Okay. So that's something you can look forward to. Just doing your clicker mechanics right now is going to help you even into the end game because you're able to get a lot of drop rate. Like if I go back to my Orion, I'm getting 400% drop rate, which is 4x. So if I have all the drop rate multi I have, this is probably like 800 to 900, maybe 1,000% flat, just like drop rate that I have. Right, so this is pretty insane. That's a pretty good source of drop rate for a free-to-play player, especially if you get high enough class level and able to invest into those talent levels. Able to invest in those legend talents is really, really good for your account. So please do your clickers because at all stages of the game, they're very valuable. Looking at you, Sheepy. Look at your bubbles here. Bubble level's relatively low, but that's completely fine. At least you have the prismas on the first, the multipliers here, so that's pretty good. I'd probably try to unlock the rest of your bubbles. So doing a little bit of AC farming on Tremor Worms, trying to unlock these bubbles. Low Cosmo Jade is pretty good for sneaking. The stamina regen you get from faster energy is pretty good. Cattle the Goat to help you with more bubble levels per day. Cod for your rules, because this is a gallery bonus multi is insane. And obviously the masterclass resources are going to help you, even if they're level 1, right? So doing AC farming, putting your characters in these cauldrons, making sure to unlock the rest of these World 7 bubbles, even the ones that aren't established yet or available yet, highly recommend it. Lava posted. Interrupt the review real quick. Please be a new meal. That'd be so good. Cool. Okay. Vials. Oh wow. Okay, you got a lot of work to do on vials. So let's give you some quick tips on vials. Make sure you're actually unlocking them correctly. So when you have your vials, say for example like spore caps, right? What I would highly recommend doing is getting like 16 of these in your inventory. And if you're wondering how I'm doing this like quick stack, I'm clicking on the item with split stack on, I'm pressing enter and it'll deposit to my inventory. I just like click on the item itself. It deposits very quickly into my inventory. Okay, and then I just hold down shift, drop all these 1 stacks, and every single one of these just kind of, obviously I have them filtered so they're not dropping, but every single one of these will count towards a new vial attempt, and it kind of super bypasses the 18 attempts you have here. Okay, so you can very quickly complete a lot of the vials. It'll take you probably a long time to do so, just because of the nature of how many vials you have to unlock, but you can unlock a lot of these vials very rapidly using that trick. So do that with the base multi-heal per tier, do that with the cog production speed, do every single vial you have in order that you have unlocked. I'd probably start with some important ones like Goosey Glug, right? Perler Seltzer for the all stat, Krakenade for the weapon power, maybe Long Island Tea for the meal cooking speed, Spook Bite for the new recipe speed, chance to breed a new pet. This is obviously pretty good for breeding. I imagine your cooking is probably bad just because you don't have this vial unlocked. It's just the nature of breeding requires a lot of new pet chance. And then, you know, just kind of go down the list, unlock everything you haven't yet. You're in World 7, so you have a lot of the resources for these vials to unlock, right? So I would highly recommend just try to unlock vials, get on it every single day, use that vial trick and try to unlock it. Let me look at your cooking because you don't have that stamp or don't have that upgrade, the vial that is. You're at Yummy Peachring, which is honestly pretty insane to me. And you have some of the World 7 meals. Okay, good. Do you have Diamond Chef multied? You don't? That's crazy, actually. Oh, did you buy the meals? That's probably it. That explains it. Okay. Starchy EXP. Yeah, probably bought the meals. Starchy EXP. This is a good bubble to double, by the way. Highly recommend it. This makes statue depositing more effective. Diamond Chef, I still recommend, is a good bubble to double. Breeding. So territories, where are you at? Yeah, you bought all these meals. Yeah, no, you bought all the meals. So there is, honestly, in terms of gem shop purchases, buying meals is probably the absolute worst thing you could do with your gems. It is way worse than when you could buy eggs in the gem shop. It is indescribably bad because you can unlock them so easily. Also, it's still worth it to do your territory spice battles because you need the spices to upgrade your kitchens to get more meal cooking speed. So it's 100% worth it to just not buy the gem shop stuff and just unlock your meals normally. Update's almost done. Having to take a day off since. Get this out hopefully tomorrow. Rip. Sad. So yeah, complete your territory spice battles. If you don't know, this guide sheet is what you want to do. This is still valid for World 7. I've heard people have completed it with it. I probably recommend something along this line. The Sandy Pot. There we go. No. I'd probably do something like this, right? Rattler, Sandy Pot. say Rattler. Rattler, Looter, Monolithic, Refiller, Defender, Refiller. Something like this will help you complete complete the breeding territory spice battles fairly easily. I've heard people able to complete World 7 with it as well. So use that to complete pretty much every single battle that you have and help you unlock those meals. Next big thing with cooking is obviously trying to get your meals to level 11. So allow Diamond Chef to multiply. And then obviously getting Fluoride from Atom Collider is going to help you once you hit your meals level 30 to get you that meal cooking speed as well. Super Chows on your Deathbringer, your second Deathbringer if you have 2, or third on if you have 3. And then Blood Marrow from V-Man to help you with cooking speed as well. If you're able to Prisma Diamond Chef, I would do it because it would help you get all of your meals to 110 fairly easily. This is painful to see. It's awful. Rift. So because you're in World 7, okay, I see you've made kind of a boo-boo with a lot of your legend talents. So there are a few ones that are just like absolute must buys. Number 1, obsolete no more. Metal detector not resetting is insanely powerful. Okay, because this allows you to farm nuggets faster and get into like the billion nugget in like a lot less time than it would have taken you before. The second one is daily shopping spree. If you have any masterclass progression, you know how expensive some of these upgrades are, right? So this cost reduction is fairly crazy for allowing you to progress masterclasses much easier. Skillium Fancy Sun, this is also insane. This is the like gray talent one, whatever. This gives you higher EXP gain. So it'll help you get to like level 1000 across all your skills very, very quickly. Okay, this is pretty good. Outside of that, you have reduced jail sentence for lab and div jail. Shrine World Order. This makes your shrines level up from anywhere. The super talent, super duper talents, obviously pretty good. Ain't double enough. What else is pretty good? The drop rate one's pretty good. Gold food bonus, the Prisma and exalted stamp bonus. These are all pretty good. Davy Jones less so, I'd say. It just makes things a little bit easier. Actively equipped cards give a higher bonus. This is obviously pretty good. And then this is the one I was talking about, Poppy and Orion. These ones giving a higher bonuses are obviously really good, but it depends on the level of your level of those bonuses, right? Those are honestly all pretty good. Griffey has a video talking about legend talents and which ones to spec. I'd probably look at that video for some recommendations, which ones are obviously necessary, just because of how powerful legend talents are and how limited they are. Highly recommend taking probably glancing a second time before you go in and upgrade things. I have a whole spelunking guide. Go look at it to talk about spelunking. And a lot of these other mechanics are pretty much outside of your reach, so not going to bother talking about them for the time being, because I think your focus should not be really on World 7. I think your focus should be on everything prior to World 6 at this stage of the game. Sigil speed at 6.2, so that means your summoning is probably a little bad. Yeah, you're not done with base summoning yet. So this will help you get a ton of sigil speed to help you progress your sigils a little bit faster. So take your characters out of sigils, focus on the color cauldrons, unlock the stuff from color cauldrons. I would highly recommend getting an AC, and you have one. So getting your Arcane Cultist, another hunter, taking your Arcane Cultist and speccing into these talents right here. Don't worry about upgrading any of these, right? Spec out of these, or in your second preset, upgrade these with talent library books, max these out so you are able to get cheaper summoning upgrades. Doing this will help you progress summoning a lot faster. My free-to-play was able to complete base summoning with the exception of Teal, obviously. And I was able to reap these bonuses rather quickly, all through AC. Yeah, you're missing like farming speed, essence gain, total damage, artifact find chance, essence gain, total damage, sigil speed, artifact find chance, skill efficiency, construction speed, some more drop rate, which you love so much. cooking speed, total damage, AFK gains, artifact find chance, total damage, sigil speed, construction speed, drop rate, total damage, skill efficiency, shiny speed, farming speed, artifact find chance, drop rate, library talent book, shiny speed, skill efficiency, total damage, skill EXP, pretty good, construction speed, AFK gain, sigil speed. Like, you're missing a lot from this, okay? So focus on your Arcane Cultist talent library, book up those cost reductions from the talent page, and start investing and spending more time in summoning. Summoning is huge for your account, right? And then once you're able to get more battles completed, upgrade more stuff in summoning, go back and do your Shaman summoning stones, because I don't believe you've done any of these because you're not able to. It's not even loading, but make sure to complete the white essence battle. Make sure to complete, the yellow, the blue, the red, the so on and so forth. You have access to all the summoning battle stones right now, so I'd highly recommend doing that. So it'll help you with your summoning battle, and that'll help you with sigil farming, right? Okay. This is an old rotation, but these are good good supers, good reindeers. World 5? What World 5? Okay. I mean, the biggest thing from sailing right now that you're missing is the Wind's Lantern. So getting the Summoner Wind bonuses is pretty insane, because this will eventually affect the talent library books that you get once you kill the Samurai Guardians in the Cyan battle. And it'll help you get more artifact find chance. So since you're struggling and probably getting a lot of these to Sovereign, for example, getting Wind's Lantern at Sovereign, or trying to push it to Sovereign, hell, even Eldritch, is obviously pretty good. Onyx Lantern's insane because it'll multiply the effect of your lanterns, right? So try to work towards and sneaking, trying to unlock that Jade Emporium upgrade, which is this right here, Brighter Lighthouse Bulb. You're fairly close to it. Getting 440 Q Jade, it's going to help you. There's also a gem shop purchase, which it doesn't seem like you're too afraid of gems, so I highly recommend trying to spend that in the gem shop, trying to upgrade the Jade coin multi, that is. There's also the merits in the merit shop, upgrading or increasing your Jade coin gain, pushing to higher mastery of sneaking, right? Trying to push the last 4 sneaking. Getting these 3 artifacts is really going to help your account in progress, because the Wind's Lanterns are really, really insane. To make sure that you actually get to the last island in time, please make sure you're also upgrading your boat speed. So making sure you're upgrading the speed here, getting the gold bars to upgrade your first boat, or the island treasures themselves. To upgrade that, speed is very important. You also want to make sure that your divinity linked at least 1 character to Permi, which you have here to get that 2x divinity. The increased plant gaming growth speed from gaming, but also the sailing speed for your boats. It's also the blessings there for sailing speed. Make sure you're upgrading those to get more sailing speed. It's also slab. Slab with the 1080 tablet will give you a bunch of sailing speed, so doing a little bit of slab grinding. Trying to progress craft items that you are missing here, going back through party dungeon, make sure you do party dungeon, help you get more slab stuff, will really help you in progressing, getting a bunch more sailing speed. Okay, cool. So Kasoumon, I'll go ahead and stop there. I think I gave you a lot to work on there. I don't want to overload you with too much information, but the crux of it is highly recommend not focusing on World 7. Focus a lot on summoning, focus a lot on your talent point distribution for your master classes, specifically targeting the skills to upgrade the skills and get those account bonuses, and then you can start worrying about like master class progression, right? So do that, and then you can start worrying about the World 7 stuff, because you need to go back to the previous worlds before you tackle World 7. World 7 is a giant slap in the face. If World 6 was hard at release, World 7 is way harder because it effectively like destroys your account progression like you normally think of it. Like kill per kill is effectively dead in World 7. Not entirely, but effectively dead. Multi-kill is also effectively dead in World 7, unless you're like Giga Endgamer. World 7 is just insanely hard, and without focusing on some of these earlier game mechanics, you're not going to have a good time in World 7. You're not going to be able to progress really that far at all. So go back to the previous worlds. Don't touch World 7 pretty much at all. And then come back to it when you have like completed the base summoning battles. When you have gotten all sigils to like the red tier, right? World 7 is just something you come back to probably in like a month, to be completely honest with you. And then you can start focusing it because of how difficult it is right now. And it's still being developed, right? So once you come back in World 7 in like a month, maybe there's been updates and make World 7 a lot more approachable to people, right? So I'll go ahead and stop there. Thank you, Kasoumon, for the account. Really appreciate it. Really good early game account to talk about. Some other things to kind of focus on. Hopefully it helps you kind of get into World 7. And then when you get into World 7, eventually focusing on spelunking is going to help you. Trying to upgrade those meals are pretty impactful for spelunking as well. The amber gain to help you progress spelunking a little bit. Okay, so cool. Thank you for the account. Have a great day. Bye-bye.